maybe some people can be different to this, but when you practice with girls and you practice dating and eventually you go on to like, sleep with some girls that you know aren't your wife, right? You know this. One, it eats you up in alive because you know that, okay, you're kind of messing around, but you're like, yeah, whatever, like, religion's like false anyway. I don't really believe in God anymore. I don't even want to get married. Like, people say not to get married anyway. Like, I totally understand that, by the way. I totally understand. Like, we wouldn't marry 99.999% of women, of course not. So it's like, I totally understand why we could just generalize that and say, yeah, don't get married. The idea is, yeah, don't get married to 99% of women. But here is the thing. When you are on this path of practicing and getting experience, and you're doing it with women that you know aren't your future wife, the thing is, there will be a time when you can't avoid this. You will end up getting really, like, deep feelings for some of these girls, one of these girls. You will literally fall in love with a girl who was supposed to be practice. This is one of the most painful experiences that I've ever felt. You will form a bond that is so primal, a bond, an attachment that literally regulates your nervous system, like these weird things inside of us. You release these dopamines, this oxytocin. You have these memories together with a girl that you genuinely know you're not actually gonna stay with. You know, like, you fall in love with a girl that you know eventually you're gonna break up with. Now you might say, oh, but I wouldn't fall in love with these hoes. You might say that. But the truth is, when you're having sex with someone consistently and you're having like good times and stuff, it's almost like it's bound to happen. Now, with certain girls, it just won't. But if you do actually practice like a lot, it will happen. Maybe 1 in 10, for example, it will happen where you end up bonding and actually having like, the personality fits and everything. But you just will never be able to take her seriously because of how you met her. You met her through, again, these dating apps and everything. And you know that she was fucking a guy literally the day before you. So there's no coping. You know that she's not your future wife. You know it. And yet you've got this huge attachment to her that you don't want to get rid of. That you've leveled up, that you've gotten a bit more seriously. And that's not what you wanted. You don't want this attachment with this girl. Let's be honest, right? Now, okay, you want to practice? So why don't you fall in love with a hoe? So it was never about practice, was it? That's not the situation you wanted to be in. You know that, right? You're a smart enough guy. You do not want to be in a situation where you're genuinely in love with a girl who is like this, right? And this is no disrespect to those girls or anything, but it's just, one thing we have to acknowledge is, like, this is your responsibility and accountability, right? If you're in love with a hoe, chances are you're the hoe as well, bro. That being said, maybe, just maybe, we be honest with ourselves and say, you know what? Seeking practice is cope. Saying that, oh, but I need experience with women, maybe that's just cope. Maybe it's just cope, bro. Maybe it's not experience. Because again, experience with something means that eventually you're going to use that experience with something else in the future. And so we've just acknowledged, and hopefully you can believe this, experience with the girls that you can get right now will not help you with your future wife. And you might think, oh, well, experience with these girls right now will help me get more experience so I can get more of these girls. And you'll just literally dig deeper in the depth of the degeneracy. And we know that's not good for us. We know it, okay? You've seen all those like reject degeneracy videos and stuff, bro. It's like, I know that's a meme and stuff, but it is so true that going down this pathway of degeneracy of like casual sex and stuff, it's not good for you. You know this. And you don't need like a vice. You don't need it. Because why? The idea, I'm not saying is to like, just be a monk forever and never have sex, never have women in your life. The idea is, wait for the second marshmallow. Because the better you can navigate your dating life, the better quality your future wife is going to be. The single most important decision you'll ever make is of what woman to have children with. It's just a fact. And so if you mess this up and you waste a bunch of your brain power, your ability to develop yourself and to grow and, to become successful and build wealth, the things that would attract a really high quality woman, as well as, building the character that comes from being an entrepreneur and all these things, right? You will sacrifice some of these goals by being open to dating and also eventually falling in love with the lower quality girls that you know is not your future wife. And maybe the concept of a future wife is so weird and distant for you that it's hard to think about it. But genuinely, if you build yourself up and just kind of wait and just keep building and building and building, whilst also, you know, still building like all areas of life, you're still building like your social life, you've got friends and stuff, so you're not like awkwardly just sat inside all day. But you're still like, imagine you're a confident guy who just right now has this like confidence of like, nope, she's not my future wife. Nope, she's not. No, guys, I've just got really high standards. Imagine that, bro. Imagine being the guy who can say, nope, I've just got really high standards. Sorry. Like, you know, when his friends are saying like, oh, why don't you ever get girls, bro? Imagine building yourself up. You've got a six-pack. You look good. You're actually handsome. You're a bit older now. And all of the random girls that you see that sometimes hold eye contact with you, you just think to yourself, nope, not my future wife. I'm waiting for the second marshmallow because I know that's the right thing to do. I know it is. I know that that's the right thing to do. If you did that and you essentially sacrifice, which isn't a sacrifice because you're going to have a fun time doing this anyway. You're like building your business and developing yourself and still spending time with friends and stuff, right? Essentially just specifically not being a degenerate, not fucking like random girls and stuff, right? Eventually, bro, you're gonna meet her. Like, and not just, you know, oh, the one or anything. I don't believe in like some Disney the one. But you're gonna meet extremely high quality women who are beautiful, have got a great personality, and have also got like a great foundation with her father and her mother are still together in love. Her father's masculine, her mother's feminine. Her parents are in love, which is fantastic to see. She's got a really good personality. Maybe she's never even been with a guy before, and so you're gonna be her everything. And then, because you're on self-improvement, because you look sexy, because you've been going to the gym and everything, because you're masculine, because you've been watching videos like this, because you've been becoming like a superior man and learning how to breathe properly and to level up your sex life and stuff, right? You're going to meet this awesome woman who's literally going to be literally prettier than the girls you could get right now. And the sex life with her is going to be better. One fear I had for a long time was like, oh, but if I do this, like the sex life's just going to be dead with like, you know, some like wife quality girl. You know, it's a common thing of like, oh, husband and wife get together and the sex goes down. I think that's only with chump husbands, honestly, because I'm thinking right now, okay, you've got a six-pack, you're going to the gym, you're like leading a class in the gym or in jiu-jitsu or something, you're a successful guy, confident guy, and you know how to polarize women. You literally, imagine like for the next 10 years learning how to actually use what you learn in this book, learning how to polarize women. Because her wanting sex with you is literally just as simple as, are you polarizing her? And most husbands are chumps, right? Most husbands get a good wife, but then they don't know how to polarize. And so eventually they don't praise her and stuff, and then she feels like barren at her core and they stop having sex. That's not going to happen to us. Because the thing is, we have the brain capacity. This is kind of like an insult to our fathers. But bro, we're smart enough that if we weren't having sex with our wife, we'd do something which is just so fucking obvious. We'd Google it and we'd watch it on YouTube. And there'd be people giving us good advice. Like, oh yeah, keep going to the gym. Do this. Make her feel, like, you know, praise her. Like, you follow advice. Literally, as long as you've got this book, you're going to have a lot of sex when you're married. Probably more than with the random girls right now. And better, bro. Better. Because you know this woman now and you actually love her, so you can open up your heart fully and she can do the same to you. So there's not going to be, like, when you get into that good relationship, there's not going to be a sacrifice like, oh man, but like, you know, she's not going to be good at giving head. You will train her. Let me ask you something, bro. How do you think girls get good at head? Other guys have trained her. So when you find a girl who's amazing at head right now and it's so good, oh yeah guys, I'm getting experience. Another guy trained her for that. But when it's your future wife, and of course you set high standards, most likely, you know, our values are different, but most likely you'll probably want her to be quite pure sexually, right? You probably don't want her to have had too many experiences beforehand. You will train her. It's the best of all cases. And so we need to acknowledge that practice and experience with these random girls, these low quality, degenerate girls, it's cope. It's not that it's some productive self-improvement thing that we can do. Yeah, I'm just practicing getting girls, guys. It's just instant gratification. It's just pleasure. So what we need to do right now is remove the word experience, remove the word practice, because that makes it sound productive, and simply just be honest, right? We can be respectfully honest and just say, you know what? I just want some pleasure. Honestly, I just want to fuck. I just want to nut. And at that point, it's like, okay, now you're being honest. Because, bro, of course we feel those urges. Of course we do. That's a better question to ask. We should reject, like, this false cope. This cope of, oh, but you know, it'd be productive if I got with girls right now, because we know it wouldn't. So don't say that this is for self-improvement, for your own development as a man, because it would like lead your life down a wrong path, right? We know degeneracy is bad for us. You see this with so many guys, right? So it's not about that, oh, I need to practice. It's simply just, oh man, I'm horny and I'm lustful and I'd like to like ejaculate. When you say it like that, it's not attractive now, is it? Like, oh, Hamza, I'd like to ejaculate, bro. Like, and what can we say about this? Well, you know, there's so many videos online that can tell you about like, oh yeah, how to like control your lust and everything. But there's a few principles from this book which are really good. So you can just have a look at this book if you want. But in general, the thing is like, you can control that lust and you can, you know, you've heard the term like sexually transmutate. Like a bunch of like the old school success people used to say this, like you can sexually transmutate that energy, that lust into your work and the gift that you give the world. It's like when you choose to, you can almost turn off the lust so that it doesn't feel bad. Like lust, you know, how we want to fuck, right? That's like like a buildup of weird energy inside of us, usually either in our mind or in our balls. And in this weird like visualization, you can just imagine breathing deeply and having it spread across your body differently, and almost like thank the women of the world that they've given you this energy, and say to yourself like, yeah, I'm going to use this energy now to fulfill my purpose, to work on my goals. It's a weird practice that I personally like to do, and I learned it from this book, The Way of the Superior Man. And so that can help you with the lust. So it's like, okay, we know it's not practice, we know it's not experience, and also the fact that it's okay, but I just want some pleasure, Hamza. We know pleasure's not good for us. Oh, but you know, like I'm really lustful and stuff. Well, there's things you can do about that. You can go YouTube right now, how to deal with lust, how to deal with urges. Worst case scenario, bro. Honestly, like I've never said this on YouTube before, so I might get criticized for it, but worst case scenario, maybe it's better to fap once a week with no porn. It's not even like that fun or something. Literally just do it fast. Once a week to control some of the urges. No porn. Make that promise. No porn. Porn's fucking horrible for you, bro. Literally no porn, just imagination. Just imagine your future wife. And then just get back to work. Worst case scenario, if that's what you got to do to like control some of the urges, you can do that. That's better than that, having that same ejaculation but like inside of a random girl that you've just met. That's a lot better for you, right? So if you feel like you can't control your urge, just fap once or twice a week. Honestly, like I'd give you that like doctor's recommendation right now if it's gonna distract you so much, because I do get into some moments where it is very distracting for me.